people. Woo-hoo. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Well, here we are.
Yeah.
Back at the old Westdale. Gotta love it. Oh, geez, where am I? There I am. That's me. I got a pick in here.
No.
There we go. All right. Are we on? Just kidding. We probably are on, aren't we?
I'm on. Very on.
Very on.
Most of the time I'm on.
All right. Well, welcome to the show, folks. Good to have you here. We got Dave Rave, one of my faves.
Woo!
Dave Rave, my fave.
Woo!
Yeah. And we're going to start out with a cute little song with a special dedication that I'd like you to.
All right. Well, as you know, we were supposed to be here back in August, and we tastefully and very, very wonderfully decided that that was a special night, and I was grateful that Westdale actually shut the whole place down for our good friend, Mr. Lazy Legs Lewis, Gord Lewis. So we'll do this one for him, okay? And sing along if you want.
This is for Gord.
Someday you remember me and picture my face. Someday you may smile at me and I walk away. Yesterday I needed love, today I need some hate. But I know who was always there, and baby, it's too late. And I wanna say, picture my face. And I wanna say, picture my face. And someday you remember me and picture my face. Someday you may smile at me and I walk away. Yesterday I needed a book, today I need some bank. But I know who was always there, it's me that I have to thank. And I wanna say, picture my face. I wanna say, picture my face. Here we go now. Sing along now. Picture picture my face. Picture my picture my face. Picture my picture my face. Picture my picture my. I wanna say, picture my face. I wanna say, picture my face. I need somebody new, just like you. I want somebody new. I need somebody new, just like you. I want somebody new. Gotta run. And I wanna say, picture my face. I wanna say, picture my face. Gordy.
Dave. Oh, nice one, Dave.
Yeah.
Picture My Face for Gord Lewis. We're going to talk a bit more about that band later on, but let's start at the beginning
Yeah.
with the Westdale Theater.
Yeah.
I know it was a big deal for you when you were a kid.
Absolutely. I think, now what did we see here? Woodstock.
You saw Woodstock here.
When it first came out. Is that dating? No, that's not good. Backdating. Yeah, Woodstock, Joe Cocker's movie that he had out. Clockwork Orange, which was good. When I forgot to wear my glasses for that one, that was bad. Oh no, what's happening? And many other. It's a dream. I think when you just go out and try to do anything in your life, you always have a dream that one day, I'd want to be on the stage, not in the audience. And so I guess there's another one. Cross off the list.
That's
When
right.
we were sitting there watching, whatever we were watching, what group was on film, you want to be in that film. You didn't want to be watching it, even though you were like 15 and 14 and that age,
Yeah.
So it's thank you for letting me achieve that.
Yeah.
That moment.
Okay.
Another way, it's great. Like it's your hometown,
Did you see any concerts here back then, or was it
no,
all movies,
they didn't
right?
have
It was
shows.
Just, yeah,
I
that's
was always
right.
hoping they would,
It was just movies.
Just movies.
Yeah, that's right.
But look at this beautiful stage. So that's what's great about the new version of this beautiful theater, that it's included.
It's the Westdale 2.0.
Yeah,
something like that.
That's it.
Yeah. Now, Dave, as you may know, Dave is a prolific songwriter. He's written 1 million, or at least 1,000 songs.
At least, yeah.
1,000 songs. And how did that start for you, Dave? Like writing songs?
Actually, it's something that I didn't know I was doing. I just basically would hum tunes on the way. I went to Christ the King High School, grade school. It was across the bridge, and the Fill Your Time. It was before parents would drive you to the school.
Yeah, you had to walk, right?
Yeah, that's how basically I got to know Gord and our gang. Is that we would walk across school, across the bridge. But I'd always hum tunes, and I'd make up tunes, but I didn't know that was writing songs. Just like, and and then suddenly a fellow friend of mine named Mr. Rick Andrew from the Shakers, who's not here tonight, but we know in spirit he's always here somewhere, eating popcorn. But anyhow, he one day said to me, instead of going to see the cheerleaders play at the Civic Stadium for Westdale High School, we should write a song instead and take that time that you would get off school. And he showed me basically those words and those tunes you've been humming. Those are songs.
Really?
Yeah.
So we have Rick Andrews to thank for.
Yeah, and he sort of showed it to me what I was doing already, and so we just sat in the basement, and he looked through my notebook and said, "Yeah, these words we can write a song. That's not a song lyric.
No,
that is.
Not.
This isn't, And he sort of went through it, and we built a relationship that's still to this day as strong as ever. I'm very grateful.
Nice. We're getting to him in a sec, but in Westdale, I think you went there in 71, was it?
Yeah, great. 71, 72, I guess that would be it.
There it is.
There is the school.
Look at that school.
Thing. We're hanging out with those hairy bushwhackers. So put the plug in.
Hey, there's the plug for the hairy bushwhacker.
Yeah.
And then in the 70s, you saw the Beatles. No.
Yes, called Liverpool.
In Liverpool.
Yeah, well, they were called the Liverpool. They came to our school. It was really great to see them. Yeah.
Oh, Liverpool. That's cheating.
No, we learned Beatle tunes. Rick, again, back to Rick. He said to me, if I hit this note, you hit this note at the same time, 2 notes will make 1 note beautiful. And I went, really? And so we practiced it. He practiced with me, and it's really hard because you want to sing the note that the other person's singing. Oh. And eventually we got it. So we started playing the Westdale coffee houses, because in the 70s, and I think they still might do it at Westdale, they would have these house meetings and they would need entertainment. And I think we were the only guys doing it besides Mike Berthelmer.
Mike Berthelman.
Yeah, that was it. So we would play, we would learn the harmony, and because we could do the harmony, we actually sounded like we knew something. We knew what was going on.
It's a
You're
miracle.
good.
Now, you mentioned the coffee houses. What about the night two?
Well, that was the next extension, because once we were playing at around the school and playing for these great crowds in front of your peers who were accepting us, we said, well, we got to now get into the real world, meaning not just your friends. And night two, it just happening. Bill Powell, the great impresario of Hamilton, had this beautiful place called Night Two. Wow, did he just come up? Bill, you're back.
No.
So he gave us a place all to perform and practice our songs. So you'd write your songs in your basement, and you'd think they were pretty good, and then you would see these guys who just written a song for Alice Cooper or these great artists, and you'd go, wow, we gotta get better.
Yeah.
We can't accept that level of songwriting. You have to get to a level that's they're at, and you get to watch it in a little room. It's not even as big as this. It was really phenomenal and scary too, because that audience was really, didn't fool around. They knew music, so you couldn't fluff it.
Yeah,
You really had to write a good song before they would go, because when you didn't write a good song, they'd like, uh-oh, that didn't work. Hide down in the basement.
Now, we got a shot of Rick Andrews, I think, coming up. We should, there you are, the two of you.
Yeah, I know. Look at us. See my Burton Cummings stash?
Yeah, nice mustache.
I got my own way to rock.
And Tim Gibbons was also in that band.
Well,
no?
that was
No.
Fulcrum.
Oh, that was...
And what had happened is that we were almost like, in the 70s, you sort of could have two lives going on. You could do the acoustic thing, and you could play with a band. But it was hard at that time for a band to play original music. You couldn't go to the Elmo Rock, all these bars, and play what we wanted to do was our original stuff. And the covers that we were doing weren't the ones people were interested in, like Badfinger and, Wings and stuff like that. They wanted something would be almost Brothers and stuff like that. So we couldn't really play the bars as much yet until the new wave punk things came. So we were doing the duo, and then my cousin Claude would come and play with us when he wasn't playing with other groups. So it was sort of the basis, but we would have different people play guitar, or Rick would play guitar, and then we'd have a different bass player. But eventually, the great thing as time went along, when we were playing the duo coffee houses, learning our writing craft, Teenage had come along with the punk rock thing and opened the doors to the rest of Hamilton, our generation, to go, hey, we can play to our originals through this punk new wave scene. So when Rick and I basically had these two tunes together, Out the Door Until I'm Gone, we got Claude on drums, who was playing anyhow with different people, but he was now playing with us. We didn't have a guitar player yet, and we went to that Grant Avenue where we come in.
Grant Avenue Studio.
Is Grant? Oh, there it is.
There. What
Just
a miracle.
How did the clue? It's like the Who show last night. It's right on sync.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we went there. We met, of course, Daniel Lanois. He was engineering. And Danny brought in Bill Dillon. Is that look at him. That's me.
Is that you?
Where'd you get that shot?
Are you okay? Oh, those were the days.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
It's like
sorry.
truth. This is like my life. This is your life, right? So Dan brought in Bill Dillon, and we brought in Gordy Lewis to play guitar. We hadn't yet found our guitar player yet, and we cut this great tune out the door. And Ed Roth, who was one part of the Grant Avenue scene, came running in the middle of one of our takes and started playing piano. And it's really true. He really did that. That was magical.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was the beginning of a new career.
And then, I think we have a shot of Dave
Ah,
and
that's us in the studio.
there's some more, Dave and Rick in
Look at
Grand
those
Avenue.
Canadian headphones.
Yeah.
Is that a beaver on the side of my head? What is that? That's crazy.
And somehow this segues into Stacy Hayden and Picture My Face. Explain that.
Oh, Stacy Hayden in picture. Oh, there's Stacy.
There's Stacy. He was in a band with me in the 70s. He replaced Dan Lanois
Did he
in
really?
my band. Yeah.
I didn't know. Well,
And then he went on to David Bowie, from Mike McCurley to David Bowie.
Well, what happened after we did Out the Door and the song sounded really good at Grand Avenue? Because at that point, I know that when we'd be doing shows with Teenage Head, when I was playing with them in the studio, we'd always be record in Toronto. And after they heard our song and how good it sounded on the radio and how well it was doing for the Shakers, I remember Frank telling Jack, the manager, listen to how good this sounds. So Jack consented and said, okay, we'll go to your studio, but we don't know who this Lanois guy is.
Yeah.
We'll bring in Stacy Hayden. And we cut a version of Top Down, which is really cool, called the Top Down New Version. It wasn't on the record, but it was really Danny engineering and Stacy sort of doing his thing.
Stacy, as I recall, I was there when you guys were doing that. Mostly he sat there reading the newspaper.
Yeah, with a girl.
With his feet up.
Yeah, and a girl behind
With
him.
a couple of girls. Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty cool,
So much
actually.
for- yeah.
I want to have my feet up like that, too, one day.
And then, when I grow up. And then Nevin Grant played that.
Yes, he played there as Nevin. Yeah, he was a superhero of Hamilton. He took the music that we'd done, the Shakers and Teenage Head, and he played it, and he supported, I think, most of the bands in some way. And I remember I just want to give you a perspective of how hard it is to get on top 40 radio. Every spot, basically, a record company wants, and the fact that he played our song, which wasn't on a record company. Record companies would go up to Nevin and say, we're going to pull songs, like, you won't get that new Supertramp record. You won't get, like, they threaten you.
They're threatening you.
You're not going to get that new Loverboy song. And Nevin went, I don't care. And that's fantastic. You know how brave that is? Most people crumble under that pressure.
That's right.
So let's give a hand for Nevin. Like we wouldn't,
Nevin.
Yeah. So it changed us because suddenly now we now had to get a guitar player, and that's when we brought Tim in.
Tim Gibbons.
And because of the Hamilton camaraderie that we've always had, as soon as we had that song, Teenage Head said, "Okay, you're playing with us," and we went from, instead of having to play crappy little places, we were doing arenas and amazing, fantastic shows all across Ontario. So it was and you know what? It's the beautiful spirit of Hamilton that we stuck together. And again, they could have done the same thing. They could have picked a lot of other bands that the agents would have pushed on. They said, no, Hamilton's got to stick together. And we did the same thing for Tom when he got the Florida Razors. We had him opening up for us. So it's that thing that makes Hamilton the original.
Nice. Hamilton the
Good
original.
tag, eh?
Hey, nice one. Thanks, Dave. That was a good one.
I had to surprise myself.
So anyway, the Shakers started opening for Teenage Head a fair bit, and we got a few shots of that.
Oh, look at us there, my perm. That's the, oh yeah, look, and Claude has one too. Isn't that cool? Tim never had a perm, but he had pretty bushy hair. And Rick's always been Rick. He's got the bow tie.
Yeah. And Tim doesn't look like that anymore.
That's old Bannisters there.
Okay, now.
Yeah.
Well, there you guys are, playing away, singing.
My red leather pants. Whoa.
We got a shot of Trouble in the Jungle, I think.
Oh, look at us. That's us dancing like happy Shakers. Look at how we must have been happy because we got a 24 case of beer, and it wasn't bad beer. It wasn't like the
OV?
Yeah, oh yeah.
It was like Sleeman.
Brick or something like that.
Yeah, up there.
A brick comes in, a brick comes out, kind of thing.
Those craft beers.
Yeah. So we were happy. Oh, now we even go look at what happened. That went to that. That went fast.
Yeah, here we are.
Wow. Oh, man.
No, well, that's the Trouble in the Jungle, which you played on.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. That's us
And
hanging there in the.
now, you mentioned earlier the big song that broke you was Out the Door.
Yes.
Let's do that
Yeah, let's do
song.
it.
What do you say?
Spent the day around the house just to listen to the radio play. Well, I went up there for a smoke, but I was out another pack again. Called you out of the sack, but when I got back, you were out the door. Tied the dog up in the yard, went and tied and turned on the TV. There was a story about a girl who left the guy the same as me. But they never told you why she left the poor guy go out the door. I was looking just as far as I can see. Usually say goodbye when you go. You ask me why, I say I don't know. Take my advice, all you girls, don't ever let your guy go free. Keep him tighter to the bed and keep him under lock and key. Keep him where he belongs, he will never do you wrong. Go out the door. Little guitar now. Woo! You got it now. Woo! I was looking just as far as I can see. You usually say goodbye when you go. You ask me why, I say I don't know. Take my advice, all you boys, don't ever let your girl go free. Keep her tied to the bed and keep her on the lock and key. He will have all the wrong, he should never go wrong. Go out the door. Yeah, come on now. Woo! Get ruckus.
Out the door. And then apparently you were out the door and you went to New York City after that.
Yeah, after
Sort of.
a wonderful, adventurous 80s, it was time, you just sort of know in your life there's a clock that tells you, now do something different. And when you get that thought in your head, if you're lucky, a moment will happen that the door opens. And there was a fellow named Mr. Gary Piggold from Mississauga, and he was a journalist around the region and around, well, actually worldwide, but from around here he had a paper called the Pig Paper. And I finally met him, and we had a good laugh, and we realized there was a lot in common musically. And we were both going to a thing called the New Music Seminar, which was the precursor to the South by Southwest and all these festivals that were going on. And we went in 1989 to this music festival, and a friend of his who happened to be from Canada was running into town and said that there was an apartment available in New York City.
Oh.
And having a just left teenage head, there was a moment where where the guy said, if you want this place, you have to take it now. And what do you say when that happens? You go, yeah.
I'm in.
We'll see what happens. I didn't want to think about it because I knew it was gone if he didn't do it. So we took that chance. We took it, me and Gary, moved to the Apple, and it was a nice journey. We stayed there for about 30 years or something like that. It was, not in that apartment, but I lived all over the great city, and I came back about 4 years ago, just before COVID. And I was glad to not have to be there in the beginning of COVID, because that's a tough city when there's lineups. There's a lot of there's a lot of people wanting a little, you
Yeah.
know. So it was good to be here. But yeah, New York's fantastic. I learned. I'm still connected to it. I'm going back now in November. It's another home of mine, and the
Nice.
people there treated me like gold, and I'm grateful. You know.
And you met a guy there named Rudolph.
Oh, Rudolph. Oh,
Let-
wait a second. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
let's segue into that
yeah,
story.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a good one. I forgot all about that.
Rudolph.
When we first moved to New York, we were just a duo. We hadn't a band yet, and we were playing this place on West 3rd Street, and we did a rock cassette. It was really fun. And after the show, a Russian fellow came up to us, not German, Russian fellow named Rudolph came up to me and said, "You guys sound great. You know, do you make you sound like you make a folk rock? Do you have a record?" And we said, "Well, we recorded some songs. Yeah, we do." He goes, "Play us a record. We would like to put you out in Melodia in Russia." So
In Russia.
what do you say when that happens, right? Yes. So we gave him the tapes. He liked it. He goes, "I like group." So we were gonna call ourselves the Dave Rave Conspiracy, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
we get the record back, and it's Dave Rave Group. There it is.
But
There it is.
the word conspiracy
No,
didn't
no.
work with the Russians.
No conspiracy.
No,
But we
yeah.
said, but it's conspiracy. You're a group now.
Your group.
Okay, we're a group now.
Or group.
We're okay. Yeah, we don't mind. We don't mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was exciting, you know. But he said, well, you had to go over there and tour, or we won't put the record out. And we said, okay. I guess at that point they'd signed that guy's name, McCartney.
Yeah,
Paul
that guy.
McCartney. He'd put a record out there, and they were just looking for more acts. So we were the second.
You were right after Paul McCartney.
After Sir Paul, that's me running like a fool.
There-
in
look,
Russia.
You're in front of the
Running
Kremlin
o-
or something, right?
running away from the tanks.
Yeah. Khrushchev's right behind you, I see there.
That's what you do when they chase you.
So
We had a lovely tour, let's put it that way. But it was scary the whole time I was there, I have to admit.
it was scary?
Oh, yeah. It's like,
But you got paid
run-
well, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah. In cheese.
What's that?
We got paid in cheese.
Cheese?
Now, here's the story. No, honest, Mike. We went to the label, and see that guy with the fish? He gave us that fish after. And we went in, and I remember going we were the head of Melodia. These guys come in, and they have this big meeting. And after, I go, "What artists are those people?" And he goes, No, they come in to buy cheese. They buy you sell cheese as well as records? He goes, "Of course."
Of course.
So I took cheese for the repayment. I thought that's way better. It's guaranteed, and it was good cheese. And this is true. I'm not making. You can't make that up.
No,
How can
yeah.
you make that up, right?
It was good
I
cheese.
might have embellished it, but it's true.
Yeah,
it was
it's true.
cheese.
So let's do a song from
Yeah.
that record that you did. You did a record there called Valentino's
Yeah.
Pirates.
This song always seems to come back to haunt me.
It's a haunting
It's a
kind of
haunting
song.
tune. No, it's always great. This tune always people seem to always ask for it. And I'm grateful that a tune like this does. We cut this song in New York, and it's called "The Way of the World."
The Weight of the World.
Hey. Standing alone, I'm standing beside myself, high in my throne. I can remember when you were a friend of mine, a better time, anything to make it, baby. The weight of the world is too much when you stand alone, baby. The weight of the world is too much, weighing down like a stone. Take it out. I hate you for leaving me. Sometimes I get so weak. You in that liberty, you in the way you speak, like a friend of mine in a better time. fingerprints can be misleading. The weight of the world is too much when you stand alone, baby. The weight of the world is too much, weighing down like a stone. I'm knocking 100 times the rules that don't apply, but it was all in love's design. Come on. Like a friend of mine in a better time, anything to make it, baby. The weight of the world is too much when you stand alone. The weight of the world is too much, weighing down like a stone, baby. The weight of the world is too much. The weight of the world. The weight of the world is too much. The weight of the world. The weight of the world is too much. The weight of the world. The weight of the world is too much. The weight of the world.
The Weight of the World.
Thank you.
Direct from Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Duh. Well, okay, so then it was back to New York City after Russia.
Yeah,
That's a bit of a culture shock.
Yeah, you know, it was great playing around. One of the great things about being in New York and was that everybody comes through and you get that I call the luxury of seeing things as they're happening. And you know, through our agent would call us up and say, hey, you know, tonight, do you want to see some band called Oasis? They'll be showcasing. Do you want to go see them? And you go, okay, Oasis sounds good. Oh, that band, okay, cool. You know, like you just casually got to see stuff as they're, and you realize that everybody's nervous in New York.
Yeah.
Which is great because it made me feel relaxed, knowing that they're nervous. Because, you know, part of being entertained is being nervous. And coming to New York, you just go, oh, wow. Your mind starts going to every person that you've ever seen. And, you suddenly go, oh, what am I? And you look at all the buildings and you go, wow, what am I doing here? You know?
Yeah.
Everybody does that. So it's not just me, it's everyone. And it's exciting to be witnessing that stuff as it goes along.
And that's where you met Laura.
Yes, Lauren Agnelli, who I was lovely. She's a great songwriter. She was in a group called the Washington Squares.
Yeah,
and when we decided to put a
remember that.
band together, Coyote, our guitar player, was really hoping, Coyote Shivers was hoping that we'd get a great bass player, and we found Lauren, and she was great. Because we'd seen the Squares, and we knew how good they were. Then we got on drums from the band Television, a guy named Billy Thicka, and Television was one of those seminal bands, so we had this really great seminal group of cool people to start our new journey as musicians.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that brought you to the band called Conspiracy, is that
Yes,
right?
that was it. Well, it came
was
from
a
the group,
duo.
from the group into the well. What happened with my career is a very, very it's unfolding. If they go, it started off as a Dave Rave group to the Conspiracy to eventually Agnelli and Rave as a duo, and we did that. We did that for about 3 or 4 years too, about 1999. We made a bunch of records doing that.
With
Lauren and myself, yeah.
And then you also added, I've got my notes here, a guy named Coyote Shivers.
Oh yeah, well he was in the Conspiracy. Coyote, who became a porn star. No, he became a. He did. He married BB Buell.
thought
That's
I
a
saw
whole
him
other story. Coyote and BB. Oh, you know him, man. So we had Coyote, Gary Pig, myself, Lauren, and Billy Ficca. That was a band. I don't know how we got through that.
And what was that
Moments.
band? What was it called?
Dave Rave Conspiracy. That was a conspiracy
Oh,
from there.
okay.
Then we became McNelly and Rave. It's all confused. We were interlocking. It was interesting. Let's put it that way.
How did it evolve into the Governor? So.
Oh no, that's another story.
Okay.
I'll tell you what happens in New York. We were on a bill, and we were in this place, and I gave the drummer a drum solo in our band, and the drummer from this faraway nation called Minnesota goes up to me and goes, "Well, anybody who gives a drummer a drum solo, I'll play for them. Would you like to come and play in Minnesota?" I went, "What do you say when somebody tells you to go somewhere?"
You go.
Yes, you go, right?
I'm in.
I'm going to Minnesota. And I knew he was a drummer. I knew he wasn't lying. Because, he was salt of the earth. So I went to Minneapolis. That's how the Governor started. I went on a hope and a prayer.
All right. And you guys did a song called Everything Has Been?
Oh, yeah, everything's going to be all right. You see how rustic it is up in Minnesota? Up north, up there it is.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. All they only have is a boat. That's where we recorded it. It was like really amazing.
That's not New York City.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a
Minnesota.
yacht. Neither was a.
Yeah, nice.
No, we went to. I started this new relationship from New York, which every year I go twice a year and I play with this amazing bunch of guys from Minneapolis, and it's fun. Do we want to do a tune by them?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
He can help us out. There's a vocal harmony on this tune. It's called "Everything's Been Done," and the great thing about this tune is, to me, it's like, those days when you go, everything's been done. It's that kind of thing. Like you're just gonna put your feet up and be happy that it's not happening no more.
Yeah.
That's what that song is about to me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sing along now. Everything has been done. That last daylight has cut and run. Must be time to play. A bottle of lightning, I'm blown away. I'm walking a line. Everything has been done. I'm wasting my time. Nothing has been won. Everything has been done. That last daylight has cut and run. Might be time to play. That little feeling has gone away. I'm walking in line. Everything has been done. Say it one more time. Nothing has been won. Hey, Rave and the Governors.
Oh, I love that song.
Oh, thank
It
you.
reminds me of the Beatles or something.
To me, it's just like Love and Spoonful, like when
Yeah,
all those songs that, they're like, what a day for a daydream, you're just, sometimes you don't even realize, because when you write with people and you do stuff that person's going through something, you're just looking for a great line, right? Oh, God, what rhymes with orange or whatever you're trying to get.
Yeah.
But what the person's really is, he's having a hard time and he wants. So I love that about music. But at the time you're unaware, it's only looking back on you go, wow, he was having a hard time. Like my buddy when we were writing that tune, and he was looking for survival. Like he was trying to find a way to a better day. So you're helping them. You're helping somebody express their feelings, and you put your feeling towards it too. So it's a beautiful experience writing, and it helps everybody because we all need it, right? We all need that kind of help.
Yeah, that's
at
for
times.
sure.
Oh God,
Yeah, I need all the help I can get. I know what I
yeah,
mean.
yeah, exactly.
All right, So let's move into the teenage head era
What
because I
happened?
think we're getting there.
Yeah, okay, well, just-
Westdale, grade 9.
Yeah. Well, what? Basically. Oh. There they are.
Shit.
Yeah.
Sorry,
My God,
Dave,
right in
sorry.
time again.
Sorry.
That's our pictures. Those pictures that nobody ever likes looking at. Like, look at me in the middle there. I look like an idiot. And look at Steve to me, right? Can you tell Steve? He looks like he's high. He looks like a tab of acid. And Frank, what does Frank look like? Look at Frank. Holy Jesus. And Nick looks like he's he's Nick. And then Gordy is very, very Gordy.
Yeah.
He's got that part in the middle of his hair.
Grade 9.
Grade 9. This is me in grade 9. No. But so what happened is that Teenage Head started, and they had this amazing. I've been interlocked with that career through my whole life, through all these guys like Frank, being in Madonna Incorporated together, Gordy since grade 1, Stevie when I was in grade 8, and he was the fastball pitcher at Alexander Park, wild lefty, but good. And Nick, I never got to know him till high school. It really, actually, even in high school, I didn't know him too much. But he was always a cool guy, And he was a great drummer because he played with his brother's band. So it was a cool situation. And about 4 years. Look, I want to ask a question.
Well, how did you get in? You got invited into the band.
Well, what happened is when the very first time when they were recording, see, I'd already been playing for many years, and they were putting their act together. So when they needed a singer, they would ask me to come and sing, and they had their first show in '75.
75.
Yeah, in '75 it was the Hill Street dance. So Gordon and Frank drove over on their bikes. I'm on my front porch playing my guitar. Let it be, or whatever it is. Listen what the man. I'm doing my song, and Gord says to me, none of that Pretty McCartney stuff.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, come on, you got a single. And he gave me the albums, David Johansen. So it was okay because I'd sung David Peel songs. And if you listen to David Peel songs, it's like, everybody smoking marijuana. They're very New York accent. So I got to know the Duels, all these groups. And so I learned them and played their first street dance. And it was pretty cool because right on the street, in Frank Kerr's dad's front place, on his driveway.
Yeah.
And I remember Mr. Kerr was really enthusiastic about it and going, this guy is going to hit tonight. This guy's going to hit,
Nice.
And Mrs. Kerr came running over. It's me son. Starts grabbing him on stage, because Frank was playing drums then. I don't know if you don't know that in history. Frank played drums in the beginning. He did that really pretty well till the beginning of the band. He eventually moved to singing.
Nice. Well, I think we got a clip of video here, Jordana, that would kind of.
Here they are to perform for you. Make a lot of noise, Westdale, for Teenage Head!
Oh. That's Westdale, right?
Westdale High School.
And picture my face. Someday you'll be smiling at me. And I walk away.
lost Frank, it was folded up in my mind. How are we going to keep going? Now, we were very lucky to have a high school buddy who's been really
The buddy.
interwoven into the story of Teenage Head forever.
And I wanna say, a picture of my face. And I wanna say, a picture of my face.
Yeah, high school.
Oh, that was it.
It kept me going. What happened next?
What happened? So that was at Westdale High School. They had a reunion.
Yeah, after Frank passed away tragically, they had another singer named Pete for a while, and then we were doing a benefit for Jack Pedler so he could feel better and help him financially. We all jammed, and it just really was beautiful. It was like the old days.
Yeah.
So I rejoined the band about just about 4 years before the pandemic. And it was just beautiful. It was just a natural thing because, as Steve said, we've had this string all through our lives of playing, either me playing guitar or doing background vocals, or at times when Frank left in the 80s, I sang. So you got to look at it as my relationship with like a vine.
Yeah, it
It's
was
just gone, it's
weaved in there.
yeah.
Yeah.
And, so really, and Gordy, don't forget also too, Gordy played on the Shakers, and Nick played with the Shakers too. He'd add percussion. So we all, sort of hung out. It wasn't that defined. Just like the school, like, we were all together.
Yeah.
Drinking each other's poison,
And I think we have video of you guys doing the Tiger Cats.
This one?
Yeah. Hey. Here we go.
Feet now, come on! Let's shake it up! We know he's in the box, King.
It's making me cry. It looks so beautiful, eh? And there's Gordy.
You can't dance, can't keep a beat. Just because you got 2 left feet. But make a run, honey, to make me blush. Got it.
Wow.
Just that girl, I need your touch. Come on.
And that was Gordy there. You're seeing a fair bit of him. That was kind of sad when he passed.
Yeah. It's beyond words. And there he is. Look at him. Glorious. He had a sound, and he was, I just honestly, my whole relationship with him since grade 1, we were competitive. Always. He wouldn't let me score that one time I could have gotten a goal. And go out and squirt hockey, right? I never got beyond squirt.
Squirt.
I was never squirt hockey. And then he went to Pee Wee. I wasn't good enough for Pee Wee.
Never made
Gordy was, but the minute I'm like, okay, get that corner. I saw the break, and in those days, he loved Roger Crozier. He was a toe saver. Oh. Yeah, and he did the toe save, bastard. He was happy that I didn't score. So we had that amazing relationship. It was emotional at times. We were right from grade 1, and there's times when we just loved each other. We always loved each other. There's times when we were at odds from each other. As times when he needed me and I needed him, and a lot of times he would call me, and we just would talk all night, and to get to where we had to get to. And
Nice.
soon as the head were going, he said, well, I'm going to call you guys, and you're going to play in front of us. That was his you're going to be doing shows. And then when there was a background singer, I was always doing the background or second guitar. He was always there. So it's to lose that, it's really hard, because it's beyond words. Again, I said beyond words because and especially the fact that he went quickly, and it wasn't like we weren't prepared for.
No, not at all.
With Frank, I think we knew because we saw Frank around being Frank, and we that was still hard because his funny and spirit that he was. But Gordy was just a shocker. It was a shocker. So
Shocker.
yeah, so we it's and that's why these guys were so gracious when the day that we found out we were supposed to do this right that night, and Mike right away called me and said, "We can't do. I know you can't do this right now." And that
I
was
couldn't do it.
Yeah, it was just, and even though Steve is funny because Steve and Deb, his wife and Jean, they all said, "Do it." You know, don't let that stop you. But we knew in our hearts, right? You wouldn't have wanted to be there that day, thinking about that. We had to make fresh, and we had to pay respect to him. You know, as a Westdale guy, as a guitar player and a friend,
Yeah.
and,
So,
and a leader in music. You know.
And the band continues on now, right?
Well, that's
what's going on.
Steve is really I call it the last man standing, and because he's never left the band. He was there from the beginning.
Yep,
And it's
Steve,
all
man.
up. It's really up to Steve how much he wants to, how much he wants to do it. And right now, I think he still wants to do it. To at least do some shows to keep the music alive, keep Gord's name alive, and Frank, of course, and all of it, and keep the Hamilton music in the world. And as long as he wants to do it, I'll be there for him because he's a gentleman and one of the greatest guys from Hamilton. Steve Mann is the unsung Hamilton hero for me, along with but because he's been there and he's generous beyond belief. He believes in our city. Always the first person. If there's a situation that he's going to bring it somebody from our city, he doesn't care if anybody cares about that. And Gene too. Gene's he's a killjoy, but he's ahead. His heart's in the teenage head. So those two guys, and we picked up one of the greatest guys that could be in the band from the Headstones, Trent Gore. So Trent's grew up with teenage head music. His band, the Headstones, of course, Head, right? And Hugh Dillon was a fan of Frank. So he's the right guy at this point to help us get to wherever it's going to go.
Wherever it's going to go.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're grateful that people care, and they're going to have a benefit for him, Gord, on what month? November 5th at Hamilton Place. What's it called now? Hamilton Place.
Isn't it Hamilton Place?
Is it still called Hamilton, or is it First Ontario Place? Yeah, so we're going to do that. So buy a ticket. I think they're just saying it's going to go. We're going to have guests and friends playing and singing, and it's going to go for the Good Shepherd.
Okay,
That
great. It's
fun.
November
5th. Yeah, it's a
5th?
Saturday. Come out and support it. Teenage Head will be playing, of course, but we'll have plenty of guests of all different friends and family, you know.
Yeah, nice. And that brings us almost to the close of our show,
Yeah,
I think.
I guess
you know.
one thing I'd just like to add
Please.
is that Gord's family, all of them, I grew up with those guys too. So they're having a tough time, and John Bryan and David and Robbie and the sisters Karen and Sue. So we got to be great to them, and help them get through this because they're great people. They were great, and so just remember that,
Yeah, what a guy.
Yeah. So should we end it off?
Well, I think it's almost 9 o'clock and everyone's got to go to bed. Well, I don't know about you people, but I do. I'm old. But first of all, before we're going to do one more song. I think we owe it to these folks. But before we get there, I just want to say thanks to the crew that's really helped us through this. Hey, we got Neil and
Thank you, Neil.
Yeah, Neil and Alicia, the head people at the West Hill, producing this show with us. And then we've got Mark Scola, who's like the video guy that knows all this technical stuff to get it out on the internet and stuff. He shows up at like 7 a.m. and starts setting stuff up. Go look at all the wires in that guy's board back there. He's got wires going everywhere. So we want to thank Mark and his wife, Jordana. Jordana's been the one putting all these pictures on, and she does way more than that. I don't know what, but she's a good one. And Norm Thornton usually does the sound, but he's not here tonight. Where is Norm? He's missing.
Not me.
Can we badmouth him now that he's gone? Like, do you have any? We like him, don't
We
we?
got some really good things about Norm. We got the scoop.
Have you got any bad stories about?
All of them.
Okay, okay. Let's not go there. So but Norm has his great crew here, Sean and Jeff, and they're handling the sound and the lights. Norm and Jeff. We got James on the camera.
Yeah.
And then we get to our sponsors, which are big because, folks, at the Westdale, we need money. We are going. I mean, it's a slippery slope because, movies aren't that, people aren't coming out to the movies anymore. So if you feel like donating
on.
and you got an extra spare, $1,000 or something, just donate. You just go to the westdale.ca/donate and send all your money to us. Thank you.
Well,
and then,
yeah, it's good, eh? Really, eh?
okay, and then next steps planning. We got Marie Phillips here.
Woo!
Marie's out there with her crew, her posse. Always, she's a real great music supporter. Up there with Judy Marcells. Judy
Judy!
Marcells Real Estate, another great supporter of music in Hamilton,
Yeah.
Along with, Bill Powell and the greats that went before.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got to love them. And we got Dave Gruggan on photography.
Jimmy,
Took
Old
our
Westdale,
photo out there.
the Bushwicker.
We got Clear Cable. They're the guys who technically somehow get it out on the internet, and we love them. And two more big ones. This is the Incite Foundation for the Arts. They give us money, as well as the Ontario Trillium Foundation. So thanks to all those folks that are helping us out. Next up, November 7th, I want to tell you about a band you have never heard of. And normally, I don't get people on my show I've never heard of. Because, look at me, I'm old. But these guys are young. It's actually a girl and a guy. They're called June Stone. I was playing a gig at the RBG in the summer, and I saw these guys between my sets. They blew me away. I gotta say, they're truly different than any music you'll hear, at least on my show. And they're unique. They're wonderfully unique. I say they're a cross between Frank Zappa and Rick Lee Jones.
Whoa.
Like, she's a really good singer and a great songwriter, and she's a great bass player. But they do these songs that are out there. I just love them. So I got them on the show as soon as I heard them. They're called June Stone. Check them out online, and we'll hope to see you here on November 7th. I got to thank you all for coming out tonight to our show, because we love
Beautiful.
a live audience. First couple of years, there was nobody out
Yeah,
there.
look
No clapping.
Yeah, it's
Nothing.
like watching NHL with no clapping. Eh?
Oh, it
It's
hurt.
tough, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it was painful.
Yeah.
So thanks, guys, for coming out. And thanks to you, Dave Rave. Whoa!
Yabba dabba doo.
Dave Rave, we go back to the 70s or 80s
Yeah.
or something. I love you.
Beautiful.
Okay. All right, well, let's finish off with one of your songs.
Alrighty. Well, I just want to say that, I'm so glad that my cousin Claude DeRoche is here tonight, because during the pandemic, we put another name of another group together, calling themselves the Second Responders.
Oh, yeah.
Dave Rave and the Second Responders. It kept us sane. We had Jack Siprick on bass, Claude DeRoche on drums, and Mark Foley on guitar, and over at Glenn Marshall Studio, the Carbon Factory. But we've been together through thick and thin, and he was a shaker, and we got a chance to do an album together, which was a great thing about the pandemic. We got to hang out. So I'm glad you came by tonight, man.
Yeah.
So let's shake it up. Shall we?
Let's shake. Come
Yeah,
on.
Okay. There is a drum solo in this, and
Okay, we'll skip the drum solo.
we'll skip the drum solo. Maybe you can help us out. You got it. You got it now. Give me that, open up, pass me that beer. Move your ass on out of here. Well, I guess I need somebody. Well, you are just too young and lovely. So let's shake. Ooh, hey, but let's shake. Come on, Westdale, let's shake. Move a little closer, let's shake. Baby, till I'm gone now. Well, you can't dance, keep a beat. Well, it's just because you got two left feet. Don't make me run, make me blush. You're just that girl I hate to touch. So let's shake, ooh baby, let's shake. Come on, honey, let's shake. Move a little closer, let's shake, baby, to the D now. Come on. You having fun now?
Yeah.
Are we rocking West Ale?
Woo. Yeah.
Are we? Is it Woodstock time? Who in here got in when it was 17 restricted? We always would lie. Well, every time I see you dance, hey, where'd you get a great big pants? I just want ear, my baby. I just want eye. Well, just one glance, honey, and I could cry, 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 cry. So let's shake. Ooh, baby, let's shake. Ooh, a little closer, let's shake. Ooh, baby, let's shake. Baby, here I'm gone now. Goodbye. Nice try. Goodbye. Come on. Yeah. Woo! You got it, man. You got it. Woo! Well, let's shake. Ooh, baby, let's shake. Come on, honey, let's shake. For Gordy Lewis, let's shake. Let's shake. Thank you.
Dave Rave, come on. Thanks a lot, Dave. We'll see y'all later. Thanks for coming. Let's shake.
Woo!